Welcome to Perfecting My 360. My name is Keisha, your girl Keisha. And my guest today is Mareka White. How are you, Mareka?
I am great. How are you, Keisha?
I'm doing just great. I'm so happy to have you on. Let's start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and a nice introduction.
Okay, the short one or the long one?
You can give us a long one. Don't give us too much though.
Okay,
Just
okay.
about you, of course, and
Okay,
say a little bit about you, about your family, your wonderful
okay.
husband.
So I am Mareka White. I am the wife to Diedrich White for 15 years now, as of August. And I am the mother of three. I have twin girls who are 11, and I have a 9-year-old son, Nathan. I am the pastor along with my husband to at Kingdom Worship Assembly. I am a physical therapist of 20 years. I have a business in natural health care. I am just that all around go to person. I stay pretty busy.
I see you got a lot on your plate. So you got your family going on. You're a pastor, you're a physical therapist, and you got these babies running around. How old are your kids? I mean, you said how old are the twins? I didn't know. I didn't catch
The
that.
twins are 11, about to turn 12, and my son is 9.
It's nine. Okay. So about being a physical therapist. How long have you been a physical therapist?
20 years, actually.
20. I
This
know.
year,
You look like
20
you 20
years.
years. How can you be a physical therapist for 20 years?
20 years as of May, and currently doing home health care for 11 years this year.
All right.
So, yeah.
Nice. So, well, I'm gonna talk about the physical because it's physical therapy different from home health care, or
No,
that's
I
what you
do.
do for.
Yes, I do physical therapy in the homes. I go to the patients' homes, once they come out of the hospital, or if they go to a rehab center and come home, we have to go in for a few weeks just to make sure that they're strong enough to be on their own, to make sure that their surroundings in the home are safe for them to get around. If they have stairs in the home, we have to make sure that they're safe going up and down and making sure, like scatter rugs, any kind of dangerous scenarios we're trying to avoid. So our job is just to go and strengthen them in their homes and to train their families.
Okay. So is it you train them so you can transition out and they can just keep picking. Okay. So how did you get into physical therapy? What?
Oh, wow. I went straight out of high school. I did not take a break. I graduated high school in June. That summer, I had to get my hours before starting school. So I started working at the local nursing home and rehab center there in Martinsville, Virginia. Yay. And from there, one of the techs went out. So I was hired while I was getting my volunteer work. I was hired as a physical therapy aide. So as soon as that was over, I went into school and got my degree there. And I think my mom is a cancer survivor. And when I was 11, she had ovarian cancer. And it wasn't the type where, you could just go on every Monday to get your chemo and you come back home or you take a pill. Things weren't as advanced at that time. So she pretty much spent the whole entire summer break between my 6th and 7th grade year in Duke University Hospital. And of course, I'm the baby. So I stayed, there with her a majority of the time. But, I just used to see the physical therapist coming in to do her exercises and get her up out of the bed and walking there. I'm like, okay, that seems interesting because I had a passion and I wanted to do nursing. But I was like, okay, I don't want to do blood. But who knew that by the time I got into physical therapy, that wound care would be a part of our work. But of course, I try to avoid those scenarios. I try to work in places where I don't have to do that. And then one of my close cousins went to physical therapy, and I just followed her footsteps, and it's been a very enjoyable journey.
Okay. So it's kind of you were led that way. You can
Mhm.
thank your not I don't want to say thank your mom because well, she is a cancer survivor. So
Yes.
now you're helping others because you were helping your mom before you even knew what you were actually doing. It was
Yes.
just natural for you. So
Yes.
was it still just that natural? Like when you graduated from and I guess you have to get licensing in whichever state you work
Yes.
in.
You have
So is it
to you have to
hmm?
study for your exam and you have to get licensed. And we had three different settings that we had to intern with before we graduated. And once you graduated, you have to graduate. Once you graduate, you have to study for the boards and pass your exam to get your license so that you can work in whatever state you're living in. And it was challenging. I tried to rush it at first. I did not pass the first time, I'll be honest. And I actually share that testimony because a lot of people, they get so anxious with passing their boards and their licensure with whatever it is. But I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I did not pass the first time because I was rushing. I did not take the time to properly study because by the time you graduate in whatever field you're in, there's a lot you learned years ago. And when you take that licensing test, it's testing everything. So you do have to go back and study everything. So I did not pass the first time. I was rushing, trying to get it over with. I did not pass. I was like, okay, well, let me just wait a few months, take my time, study, and then, of course, I passed the second time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did with my massage therapy license. I was like, when I do this, I'm doing it once. I mean, that thing, I was like, I got tired of learning muscles and tendons and this and that and so many things. And you want to know the funny part? None of that stuff was on my exam.
Right. What you study is not on there.
So yeah, after I graduated, I studied. I did my test for just I gave myself like extra months to study, and then I gave myself a date. Like I set a date, and I was like, okay, I have up until this date before I go take this exam. And because I knew I couldn't remember all that stuff, everything that went on, all it. Because even though my program was a 7 month program, we went for I went for a year because I went doing only on the weekends. So can you even just going to school on the weekends, having to get all that work, and I didn't retain. My brain doesn't work that way anymore. So I said, yeah, no, let me. Like one guy took it before we even graduated
Wow.
and passed.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, my brain doesn't work.
He was ready.
He was ready. He was definitely ready, and he was saying that he said he don't know how he passed, but he did. It was meant for him to be.
Wow.
So what did you do? So with
Mhm.
you being a pastor, how did you? So you're a physical therapist, you're a pastor. Let's talk about that.
Well, God called my husband to pastor some years ago. Of course, we have been faithful with another church for years. And even before we were married, we both worked in ministry. So ministry it was life for the both of us. And both of us come from very spiritual family dynamics, like on both sides of our families, to either our father or grandfather, uncles, cousins, everybody is in some type form of leadership in the church. So we knew it was destiny for us. But God called him to pastor some years ago, and he spoke to the pastor about it. And then a few years later, it's like God was like, okay, it's time. So we launched out November 2016. We are celebrating 4 years this November. And of course, I'm that laid back in the background type of person. I'm a people person, but when it comes to being up there, I'm like, okay, I will support you. But as time, kept on and the word of God kept coming and the prophecies from other people kept coming like, you are supposed to be in this place. And I'm like, God, you got to reveal that to me because I ain't seen like most churches, you have the first lady. I'm
So
like,
you
okay,
said
I
you
could be
were
late.
called to you. It was your calling. You just couldn't. You couldn't stay away. It was because I love this story. I actually do because you were fighting the powers that be, and you knew you know how it is. We do a little fight, and they push us a little bit closer. So
I was trying to avoid it, but the word of God kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And I was like, okay, God, sometimes when you have a call in your life, everything else is not going to be in alignment until you fulfill your main purpose, regardless of what I'm doing in my job or my business. That doesn't matter until I fulfill the assignment that He wants me to fulfill, not what Mareka wants to do, because I'm not in control of my life because He wakes me up every morning. So I have to be obedient to God. If I'm confessing Him as my Savior, it's like, okay, pulling teeth with, okay, God. And it was like, okay, our answer is supposed to be yes, Lord. Whatever you're calling me to do, okay, yes, Lord. And we do make a dynamic team, if I have to say so myself, because we have a heart for people. And we're not, yeah, I tell people, I'm like, if you come to our church, don't come with the expectation of what you are used to anywhere else. We're not the type of people, we don't like a lot of accolades for ourselves, even for anniversary. We're like, oh, we know it's our pastor's anniversary, but we always make it the church anniversary because we wouldn't be the ministry that we are without the people that are a part. Like, we're one big family. So yes, I know you want to celebrate us, but we want to celebrate everybody. So it's been a great journey though. I mean, of course, we have the challenges, how just being that person that everyone's calling and everyone's pulling on at all times. And yes, it's hard when you have a family because you're trying to do this for your family, but if someone's calling, they're like, oh, I lost a family member or I'm in the hospital. If you have that, that's supposed to take, rule over everything. But we do try to make sure that everyone knows, we do have family, and they're pretty good about respecting our family time. And that's one thing I love. My husband, he takes his time to study and everything, but he takes that time to spend time with my son, to spend time with the twins, to spend time with me. So it's a balance. You have to work out that balance because your household is your first ministry. You
yeah.
can't be everything for the church, 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 church all day long, and you're losing your family.
Mm-hmm.
So your family is your
You
first
have to take care of
ministry.
home first.
Yes, home first. And the good thing about it, a lot of the families in our church, the children are highly involved. So if we're a part of something, our children are also a part of something. So it's not that we're always doing something and leaving them behind. It's like everyone is working together. And I think that kind of makes it easier.
It's
So,
almost like even though you have your church family and you have your family, it's kind of one family. You guys all work together and respect each other's space and time, and they pretty much understand, okay, I have this going on with my family, and I'm quite sure they're like, okay, you take care of your family first, and then you can get everything, work them in. I mean, and it's not even like scheduling because you don't schedule with your family. I mean, we schedule with our family, but when your family needs you, you don't kind of like
right,
put them on a schedule. So
right,
that's good.
right.
You can work all that. Did you
Yes.
have to take any um blah, 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 I'm gonna get this word out. Theocratic classes. Did you have to take any theocratic classes?
Theology classes.
Yes, thank you. I look.
Oh, we have not taken, well, actually, though, we haven't. When I say we're different, we're different. We are heeding the call of God. Yes, man can teach you, but we're heeding the call of God. But in that, we have taken a few classes. Actually, this past Sunday, we just graduated from our module to a prophetic training class with another ministry. So it's always a learning process. It's always a learning process. So
No, because in the beginning, no one did that. Moses didn't do that. Jesus didn't do that. It was kind of like, this is these are the words. Read them, understand them. If you don't understand them, God will tell you what they mean, and then you can pass that on. And then everyone looks at something a little different anyway. We might be on the same wavelength, but someone else may explain it just a little bit, but that's okay. As long as you get the gist. I feel people should just be kind and good and not sleep with each other's folks. And I mean, that's just common sense. So to me, that's just living a righteous life, period. You can't get
That's right.
anything back from being, I just believe that you can't get anything back from being a nasty person.
Right, right.
So,
And
and
we're called to live to be, well, those who confess to be Christians. It's just living a Christ-like life,
mhm.
not trying to be super holy, but just live as Christ lived. And that, the greatest command is love, and we're supposed to love each other. And if we follow that, because even in, some churches out here that may not have that full concept. I'm going to watch what I say. But
Yes,
the greatest of these is love. You have to love the people. Like I said, it's not about us. We give to our members so much. Like we're always giving, giving, giving. And like I said, it's not about us because I don't want them to worship the man that's up in the front of the church. We
hmm,
want to bring our job is to disciple them, to bring them closer and have a deeper relationship with God because they don't answer to us, they answer to the man above.
girl,
So
thank you for saying it.
it is not
You know
about
how many
us.
people, I'm going to say it because it's my show, but you know how many people actually look at these pastors and these preachers and and these people as God. You worshiping the wrong person. Their job is to deliver the message.
That's true.
You have to take everything else up with God on your own.
That's true because we're trying to make it in just as well as they are. We all on the same journey. We're just leading them. We're leading them. But yes, that is so true.
You're
So
like
true.
you're like travel that path less. What is it? The path less traveled. Get on that one. Don't go that way.
Yes. Yes.
So that's your job. So yeah, I'm so happy for. What's the name of your church?
Kingdom Worship Assembly. You can find us on Facebook. And we are located at 8329 Old Marlboro Pike in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Of course, due to COVID, right now, majority of our services are on Zoom, but we do have occasional prayer services, with still, with the COVID guidelines because we have the room enough for everybody to kind of socially distance themselves, but everything majority is still on Zoom because we're playing safe. I'm in healthcare.
Right. So is it the size of the church? That's how many for the COVID guidelines. So if you have a bigger church, say you may can have 50 people in there, or if you have a smaller church, you can have 10 people in there. So they kind of go by your seating size.
Yes, yes. And
Okay.
we have ample seating, so it's enough for everyone to come in and have their own space. So we're good.
Okay. Very, very nice. So you mentioned business.
Yes.
What's your what is that? What are you doing?
I am a
Since we
natural.
have this physical therapy, this family, we pastoring and getting the people mind, focused on what they're supposed to be in the church. And so you're doing all this and you're running a business too.
Yes, I am.
You're doing too much for me. It's hard for
Hey,
me to roll out of the bed in the morning.
when we leave Earth, we gotta leave empty. So hey, um, I'm a natural health consultant currently with a company called Tava Lifestyle, which is Black owned. We are the only Black owned um, company in our genre, and we sell Detox tea to help with weight loss. We have CBD coffee, liquid vitamin, and our natural energy supplements. And I'm also launching some other things that I can't yet share. I thought I would be ready by the time we had this interview, but I'm also launching some other things that would be solely, out of what God has given me to do, because I have a passion for natural health. I'm not all about the medicines and things like that. Like natural health is the way, like you're a massage therapist, that's a part of, a natural form of relieving people of pain or stress, whatever they're dealing with, holding in. But I believe that God has gifted my hands. So I'm all about the purpose of touch and
Oh,
the power of touch and the power of prayer. You can just combine the two together.
mhm.
So
So you're going more holistic.
yes, I am working on a lot of things to be
We need to
announced
talk
very soon.
because
Yes, yes.
I also I want to incorporate the power of touch and do a form of, they call it cuddle therapy,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't I like touch therapy better. But because you don't necessarily have to touch the person. It's kind of like the person just wants you there, or they may want you to just do hold their hand like this, any type of thing. And I want to incorporate that. So we need to talk.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was actually looking at a class and this lady was charging like $5,000 to do this. And I was
Wow.
like, I do this with my kids for free. Nobody needs to teach me how to do this. Are you
Yes. I see a lot going on out there, and I'm like, okay, but yes,
Yeah.
some of
So
it's a
okay.
little
So with your so with the teas and what's you said it's called Tava? What's the name
Tava
of
lifestyle.
your
Tava lifestyle. My website is detox to live, the number two. So detox to live tavalifestyle.com, because a lot of us hold a lot of things. First of all, we don't always eat correctly. And then the air that we're breathing, we want to make sure that we're constantly detoxing all of that sludge and things out of our bodies. Yesterday, just being transparent, um, I was thinking it was a stress from my job, and I was starting to feel like chest pains. So I'm texting my husband, like, pray for me, like I'm not feeling too right. And it's like God was like, why don't you drink your detox? So I started drinking it on the way home. And it's funny that I could actually feel it go directly to the area that was bothering me. So there was something that I had eaten or just something that was in my body that needed to come out. And believe me, when I say this tea works, my friend calls it her deliverance tea. But when I say it works, and it works fast, normally within 4 hours, but yesterday it was two for me. It almost caught me off guard. I'm glad I was already at home because I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got it this time, but it was time to go. But I love our company because, like I said, everything's natural. A lot of people take like the 5 hour energy drinks or the Red Bulls. Those things aren't healthy for us.
especially for
So,
women? They
yes,
causes heart conditions.
exactly. So I'm glad that I'm helping people transition from that type of product to something more natural. And you don't have that crash at the end of it. You can take our natural energy pills, go through your day. It's also an appetite suppressant for those who are trying to lose weight. But I take it for the energy. I take it for the energy because I'm working long hours. Because of COVID, a lot of those people are now getting out of the hospitals and they need their recovery time. So now my days are longer. I haven't been working as late as I'm working right now for a long time. So my days are longer. So I need something to just give me that extra boost of energy. And then I take the liquid vitamin every day. But I have a team that's doing the same thing. They're out here wanting to make money. A lot of people have lost jobs. So they have that ability to make money, selling natural products. So I'm loving the journey. I've been in natural healthcare since 2015. I started with a different
So
company.
what about people with like iron deficiencies, like me? Do they have teas to help with that. So, because iron pills can be horrible taking those things.
Yes, I take those occasionally too. But for the iron, of course, your B12s and your B1s and all of your B vitamins, help that. So that is in our liquid vitamin.
Yeah, I want liquid vitamins. I can't stand. I fill my pill jar up all the time, and I look in there and it'll say Sunday is empty. Then it'll be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'd be so full, and then I'll come in the following week and be like, let me take this Monday from last week.
And
Like
liquid is
it's like the
better.
niacin and the iron and the calcium and I was filling my pill thing up one day, and my friend was like, she said, "You take three of those? They like that big." She's like, "You take three?" I said, "Yeah, because that's what it calls for." But
I don't
like,
like pills. I am a
yeah,
baby. I'm a baby. I'm 40 years old, but I am a baby when it comes to taking pills. So I love that our vitamin is liquid. And
yeah,
liquid goes into your bloodstream faster and you get all of the nutrients versus a pill. By the time that pill goes through your digestive system, you're not getting everything that's written on the back of that bottle. So
right,
liquid is
exactly.
more soluble. Yeah. So I love liquid vitamins. Even if I weren't selling them, I would be liquid all day long.
So 2015, you started, and when you start, like, did someone introduce you, or did you see it somewhere, or how did you start? And do your husband do it with you? Okay.
Well, yes, he's in the business with me, but he's more of just that support leg for me. Um, But of course, I've been in network marketing even before I got married for years. And actually, that's how I met you because I was doing Avon, which is still active if anyone needs Avon.
How you doing? You a mommy, a pastor, a PT, Avon, Tava,
I don't
and you
promote
about to start your next venture.
I don't promote Avon as much, but I do keep my website there for those people who are seeking their Avon products. But actually, that's how we met some years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But network marketing has always been a thing. Actually, one of my patients way back when, before I moved to Maryland, got me into Avon. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. She's making all this money off of us. Let me see if I can do it. So I did so well. And then in 2015, this natural health company came on. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm already in healthcare. And I just developed a passion. And so it kind of drew me away from Avon because I was like, I would rather save you a product that's going to save your life versus selling you a lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would keep that open, but my passion is healthcare because my mom had cancer. My mom has had all of these other ailments and things going on over the years. I just recently lost my sister. So natural healthcare is a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thriving in that business and, just leaving from one company to another. I'm loving the company that I'm with now, but it's just who I am because I can take the products every day. My children can take the products every day. Everything is so safe and natural that anybody in my family can be a part of it.
So is it all teas or like I buy beet powder because I'm trying not to take that iron pill.
That's good.
So I buy beet powder. Do you have things like that?
Not
Like
yet.
kind of sprinkle, because that would be like, just take kale and dry it up and you can sprinkle it over your food. Look. Because I said I need to invest into an electric grinder so I can make my own dry, because I paid for this dry beetroot. And I'm like, I can dry this stuff out myself because the process is really easy. It's like, I love the fact that a lot of people are going back to natural, the way
It's
our
supposed to
ancestors,
be.
Indians
Mhm.
did it when they came. Everything was just perfect. Like it was no illnesses. And if you did get sick, it was probably something they never even heard of before. but most of the majority of the stuff you can take care of. African culture, Indian culture, oh, Indian medicine is wonderful, all natural, holistic. Love it. And I'm glad we're so glad we're getting back to that. The net
Yes.
like I take what is it? Ginkgo biloba,
Uh-huh.
ginkgo, yeah.
For the
I
mind.
I drink that. It helps with headaches. Because
Mhm.
I don't know why. Maybe I'm my mama's headache. She's like, I got a headache, man. I don't know if she's talking about me on the side. But I say take that. So it works for headache. It works for um all this the nastiness in the air, like what you were talking about,
The
all the
toxins.
radicals in the
Yeah.
air that attack us. When I saw all the properties of it, I said, well, what took me so long
Yeah.
and I bought a pound of tea. It came in this big, huge, but I was like, it's no way we're going, because it was like $20 for this big pound of tea. And everybody in my house drink it. I gotta look for my steepers. I'm like, hey, where's my steeper?
Wow.
Me and my like, please, why is it always missing? But yeah, everybody in my house drinks it now.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
real
it's
good.
just the best way. All these medications, all this stuff we put in our body. And I'm gonna say this is so I'm gonna get a little I hope it's not. I hope nobody don't take it from me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm natural with deodorant. I don't wear anything with aluminum in it.
Mhm.
So I can tell the difference if I'm not taking care of my body. The smell that comes, it's like an ammonia.
Mm.
It's all the lactic, you basically that all the lactic acid
Mhm.
trying to escape out of my body and it's stuck.
Mhm.
But when you have good flow within your veins, you drinking
Right.
hot teas, you doing your teas
Mhm.
and keeping your body right,
Mhm.
all that stuff just flows good, and I can actually smell the difference. So I understand.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
love it. Holistic. Way to go.
Yes. So you made a comment. You said, okay, you're doing the Avon, you're doing this, you're doing that. So the tea company is actually going to come under the umbrella of what I'm about to launch. So everything will be, under one umbrella. So everything's going to kind of flow together. So it won't be, oh, you're doing this, you're doing that, you do that. Everything's going to, flow together under that whole, I can't say my site name yet, but under that umbrella that shall be announced soon. But yeah, everything will go together. So
Okay.
if they're getting this particular service from me, then I can also add in the addition of the tea. Like, okay, and I have this. So everything will be together.
Everything is kind of here, there, and there. How are you balancing all that now with your children, with um, date night with your husband, and
Oh, I need it.
how y'all need a date night?
Yes. So, currently I feel like my job is taking over my life. And I'm like, Lord, that's not the way it should be. So that's why I'm trying to do some other things, so that I can change my course of life in better words.
Yeah.
Um, but you just have to be intentional. When you have family, you just have to be intentional about everything that you're doing. Of course, family is there. Of course, the church is there. But everything, even business, that's the good part of having your own business is because you can work it when you want to work it.
Mhm.
And the good thing about my tea business is that I use social media a lot. So even on the weeks that I am super busy in the world of physical therapy, if I don't have time to post anything, if I don't have time to go live, the things that I've done before have already paved the way for my income to keep generating with my business. I can wake up in the middle of the night and I'm seeing cash apps coming because people are ordering products, or they see my website and they're going to my website. I get an email, oh, you have a new customer order. So it kind of takes care of itself when I'm not able to really promote it. But I have a good sister support. as far as friends. So they know when, okay, they need a date night. Okay, you gonna drop the kids over our house. Or the good thing about it now, my kids are getting older. So it's not as hard to find someone to keep your children. They're pretty much self-sufficient. It's like I bring them over and they're gonna chill, watch TV, video games, whatever. They're not,
Cell phones.
yeah, yes. They can cook their own snacks, if you got food, or they can bring their own food. They are so self-sufficient. So, you just have to be intentional about having those date nights. And I probably don't oblige as much as my husband would like to. So that's one of my things I'm working on. So, we do try to get away, even if it's just when we go walking. If you see me posting videos of us walking, a lot of times
I
it's
love
just the two
those.
of us. Yes.
I
A lot
do
of times
love
it's just the two of us. And actually, that's like an awesome time for us to just get away, because the kids are here, they're doing their own thing. We get out, we walk the neighborhood, we're still close by, but it's just the two of us. It gives us that time to talk, it gives us that time to just kind of, debrief about, what's going on in our own worlds. But with COVID, of course, he's a movie buff.
Okay.
So can't go to the movies right now. Even if they're open, I am not going.
Yeah.
So, you just got to be creative and find those times. So it can be coming upstairs. We have our nights where the kids know mommy and daddy are having their time. If their phone rings, they will say they're having their time at the moment and they will not disturb us. So we
Oh,
can just
that's
go even
weird.
in, yeah, so we could go in our bedroom and watch a movie or catch up on some TV shows or just, whatever. And they know that that's our time.
Just have some quiet time. You can just
Yeah.
that cuddle time is the best. Look, I love a little when you just and that relieves so much stress. And I'm gonna tell you about that too. I think I told you about that, but I don't want to talk about it here.
Right,
But
right. We did.
you know what I'm talking about. When I,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, I'm still that's
Yeah.
it's coming, it's on the way, it's on the way, it's in the making. So how you mentioned being in COVID. How did the kids adjust, like to going to school and with COVID and being home? Yeah, I think I think it's a little more trying with the kids being home and
Mhm.
making sure that they do their work. Like,
Yes, it's hard, especially with me, still working full time. Even if my husband is here, he's working from home and his job is demanding, he's in a lead position. So even if he's across the hallway, if my son is still laying in the bed and not on his Zoom meeting, my husband's not going to know. But they overall are doing very well. I think it's teaching them resilience. Yes, my son would love to be in the classroom because, he just, no one wants to stay in front of the computer all day. And then the twins were upset because this is their first year in middle school. So, of course, they were looking forward to the lockers and all of the middle school hype that now they're doing on a computer. But they're in class from like 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the evening. They have their breaks, different, and I think they have like a 45-minute lunch time. But it's all day. And then my son is like from 8 o'clock to like 2 o'clock. So he has that little gap of 2 hours where he's done and they're still in school. So just trying to keep him occupied so that he doesn't disturb them. But overall, they're doing well. Their progress reports were all A's and B's. And it's
awesome.
just, it's an adjustment. I pray that they will be able to get back in the classroom soon, but safely.
I
Their
agree with
safety is
you.
my
I
main
think they
concern.
talk. They were talking about bringing the kids back after Christmas, but I'm like, no, because look at how COVID. That I was reading a news report, USA or one of them magazines. It was like 50,000 new cases per day of COVID are popping up because people don't care. They're not wearing their mask. They're
Right.
not. I started at first. I wouldn't wear my mask from like my car to inside of wherever I was. But
Mhm.
now, mm-mm, I'm putting that thing on from the when in so
Yeah,
how
it's been well.
so you were saying earlier your husband likes movies, so how has that adjustment been with COVID? You guys can't what do you what well, so what did you do for fun before, family time before, and now those things have changed?
We went to the movies a lot. We like to go out to eat. We like to hang, with friends and family. But of course, that had to kind of settle down. No movies. We go out to eat seldomly, but majority of the time, and I'm very skeptical. Like I have to see the table seating before I will eat indoors. But we do a lot of takeout if we do, and more cooking at home. Trying to. It's hard working late and trying to cook at the same time, but
Food prep.
just yes, but just he's buying the movies now again, which he had kind of settled down. He's when I say he's a movie buff, he's like a huge movie buff. So when we got married, he had all of these movies, and then over the last few years he kind of slowed down with purchasing the movies and the DVDs and the Blu-rays. But of course, with everything going on now, it's like, okay, we got to buy what we want to watch, and then there's Netflix. So hey.
So we got Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and you can just watch TV. I mean,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are doing like watch parties, and you
Yeah.
like even Netflix now has a watch party option where you can, so like you and I could sit at the same time and watch the same thing,
That's
and
crazy. That's look,
but that's what it comes down
that's good for
to.
people who are dating.
Yeah, right. Because that was the AMC. I had the AMC thing, the little
The membership, the
membership.
membership.
Yes, my
Yes.
brain. Yeah, I had the membership, and me and my kids would go to the movies on Tuesdays because it was $6, and like and that was our thing. So I'm with your husband. So do you do in the summertime? Did you do kind of some outdoor? Like afterward, when you could do it. Did you do some outdoors things?
Well, one good thing, the kids learned to ride their bikes during the summer this year. So of course we had plenty of free time for that. So we, tried to get them outside as much as possible. So they're now avid bike riders. And they did a lot of my girls are in Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts still kept the twins, really involved, and I appreciated that over the summer. My son, we let him go video game crazy, but every now and then I'm like, okay, you need to read a book or something. But
Mm-hmm.
this year, normally for our wedding anniversary is our time for my husband and I to go travel by ourselves. And our trip this year was supposed to be Hawaii. So that didn't happen, of course. But because the kids have been, shut up in the house all summer, we allowed them to go with us. And we took a trip to Williamsburg, got a resort where it wasn't a lot of people. And, they enjoyed just being away from home. So we've been making it work, just making it work. Just get out, go walking. Sometimes they join us, sometimes they don't. Just get out.
But like, you
Do
guys
what
want
we
to go
can.
walking, and like,
Mhm. I like when they say no. I'm like, all right, bye. Me and Aries. But one thing, COVID has allowed people to create and cultivate, the business and the ideas, the things that, that God gives. So a lot of people have, started businesses and wrote, written books and things like that. So it's like it's really allowing a time for us to really know what's on the inside of us.
yeah, I told someone, I said, COVID has been a heartbreaking, horrible. It's almost like an oxymoron. You
Right.
know, it's like we got some good with the bad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot. We had a lot of deaths, a lot of illnesses, a lot of sicknesses, but it's also like you said, people have come to know themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot. So many people that I know personally have like their business just flourished, and they didn't think it would actually, but the deliveries, and like I didn't know, I was hurt for a while. And people were like, "Are you going to do massages?" People still wanted massages during the height of COVID. I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, no." I'll hit you. We'll reach back out later on.
Right. Yeah,
But
my business just like catapulted because now everybody wants to detox. So I'm like, okay.
yeah,
So it's been great business wise because of COVID. Yes, I've lost family members and people, but you have to also look at the good side of it. So
mm,
like it catapulted my business to the point where I try to I was going to the post office so frequently and I'm like, wait a minute, the post office is only so big. It's too many people in here. I'm like, oh. So I actually had to purchase the equipment so that I can mail my own packages from my house just
okay.
to stay away from the post office. But that's how busy that the business got. So I was like, Lord, I thank you.
You made that money back.
Yes, yes, in a
It
heartbeat.
is how it's been. No one wants to go to massage studios. So for me, traveling has really picked up. And believe it or not, with the younger community, I'm getting mid 20s, early 30s. They're getting really health conscious, and I was really surprised.
Wow,
Yeah, that's most of my clientele right now,
wow.
and they rather have someone come to them, and I'm all prepared. I wear my mask. I'm washing my hands like crazy. I don't use gloves because I feel that is a barrier
Yeah.
with the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just make sure I wash my hands really, really well, keep my nails cut down super, super low, just keep them clean, keep them sanitized. Washing, like I say, washing is better. You guys start with the hand sanitizer. People don't realize hand sanitizer actually is worse than not washing your hands
Right.
because people sit and they tell people to rub it all the way in, and people don't, and they don't know that is drying up. It is sticking to their hands, so the all the bacteria is just stuck to your
On
hand.
your hands. Yes. And
So
the
it's
and the germs have nowhere to go when you
oh
wash your
right.
hands. You're cleansing. Can't talk. You're cleaning the germs from your hands. Sanitizer, yes, something quick if you don't, can't get to water, but
Mhm.
water supersedes all of the sanitizer.
So please wash your hands, guys, as much as you possibly can. People should be washing their hands anyway. That should just be a gift. My mom wasn't like that. She was like, "What do you think you're about to do?" Well, and don't wash your. If you come from outside, don't wash your hands in her sink. She don't care if it's stainless steel or not. You go to the bathroom. But if you in the house, she don't care. But
Mhm.
don't be washing your hands in her. So, but yeah, we just been living our lives. This is like the new norm, I suppose,
Mhm.
for a while.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I truly, truly appreciate you giving me your time today. I learned some things about you I didn't know. So, what you gave? Can you do one more time? Can you just tell it? I'm gonna put it in the notes also, but just one more time, tell us your website for your business and your church's website.
Okay, you can find me on Facebook as Mareka White, Instagram Mareka on the Rise White, and our church, Kingdom Worship Assembly, you can find on Facebook. You can also find us at Kingdom Worship Assembly at gmail.com. My business currently can be found at detox2live.tavalifestyle.com. I also have a group on Facebook called Better Health for Wealth. So if you friend me, just inbox me to let me know that you would like to join that group, Better Health for Wealth, where I share not only testimonies from the business, but just overall health tips, food tips, foods to avoid, foods to eat for this, things like that. Better health for wealth. So what's the point of being wealthy if you are not in proper health to enjoy it? So better health for wealth. Mareka White. That is me.
Well, thank you, Mareka, and I appreciate your time.
Thank
And
you.
I guess that's it for tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Perfecting My 360. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also, hit that notification button to get current videos featuring my amazing guest.